Good morning, Wetumpka, and thank you for joining us here at WHTV. I'm Kristen Whitlow.
And I'm Mabry Calloway. For any students interested in becoming a member of the Color Guard or Majorettes for the Pride of the Tribe marching band, there will be a meeting held February 10th at 7 p.m. in the Wetumpka High School band room. This meeting is mandatory to be eligible to try out. Students trying out must be accompanied by at least one parent. There will be no makeup meetings.
Any students interested in cheer or dance must attend a mandatory meeting held in the WHS Commons on Tuesday, February 11th. Students attending must bring a parent, and sign-in starts at 6 p.m. with the meeting following. The tryout clinic will be held March 2nd through 6th.
Girls in grades 9 through 11 interested in the Miss Warrior pageant need to see Miss McKenzie in the library to pick up an application. Applications and payment are due Friday, February 14th.
Wetumpka High School Junior-Senior Prom will be March 21st. Tickets are on sale now. Senior tickets are $15 and all other tickets are $30. Any out-of-school students need a permission form to attend. All forms will be in Campbell's room, Commons 2.
Senior quotes and baby pictures are due February 10th to Miss Fulton or wetumpkayearbook@gmail.com. And finally, progress reports are already upon us. Next Thursday, progress reports go out to all students, so make sure any makeup work is done as soon as possible.
This week's Club Spotlight is on the upcoming Dungeons & Dragons Club, brand new to Wetumpka High School.
I'm Ben Wilson, and for this week's edition of Club Spotlight, I'm joined by Mr. Gooden, the sponsor of D&D Club. So, for D&D Club, what does D&D really stand for?
D&D stands for Dungeons and Dragons. It's a tabletop role-playing game that is several decades old now. A lot of people might recognize it from the first season of Stranger Things. The Demogorgon and the Mind Flayer from season 2 are actually both creatures in the bestiary of Dungeons and Dragons.
So for this club, is there any purpose, or is it just kind of like a fun ordeal?
This is going to be just an enjoyable time for people who either are already involved in Dungeons & Dragons and realize or understand how the game is played, or it can also be for new people who are interested in learning about it. I know that when I was younger, Dungeons & Dragons was very taboo, it was very nerdy, it was just a little too much, and there have been a lot of things that have brought Dungeons & Dragons into the spotlight, and I just want to give people the opportunity to learn a little bit about it and enjoy playing the game.
So you don't need any past experience. You can just sign up to learn about it in a way.
Not at all. If you just have an interest in learning about Dungeons and Dragons or other tabletop role-playing games as well, that's what this club is all about, is learning about those games and having a comfortable, safe environment to play in.
So as a sponsor, being a first year, now having a club, what will help this club kind of stand out as a fresh new face in the game?
Well, I think that Dungeons & Dragons as a game is very unique, and that will help us stand out, on its own. We have clubs for recycling, we have clubs for chess club, and that's probably going to be the closest thing to Dungeons & Dragons that we have. But there's really nothing quite like a tabletop RPG game, and so really, that's going to be our bread and butter. We're going to lean into that, and it's going to be a very interesting ride, I think, over the next couple of months while we finish out the school year. And it's going to be really, really fun, I think. It will be challenging to the imaginations of everyone involved. It will be challenging to me because this is my first year. But I think I've got some really enthusiastic members already, people who have pressured me to start the club. I was approached by several students who were interested in joining, and I think that they are going to be the ones who help set it apart from everyone else. And I'm really looking forward to working with them and letting them be leaders and really push this club forward and get something that I think is really interesting started here at Wetumpka High School.
And when is a sign-up day or meeting for the D&D club?
So the first day will actually be today. It will be about 8:30 during Indian period today. And that is going to be the first club. If you have any interest whatsoever in joining, that is the time to come. That's where we're going to start discussing a plan for the next couple of months and then into the next few years. Because a lot of the leadership that I've got is going to be some of my younger students actually who have been pressuring me to do this. And so hopefully this club sticks around for a really long time. But today, 8:30, I know there's a couple of things going on during Indian period, but 8:30, that's going to be the first time that we can get it all together, and that's anyone who's interested in joining, you can come down to E1. It's really easy to find because it's the first classroom that you can come to, you know, when you walk in the front door.
And for those that are interested, what would you say to them?
I would say to anyone who is interested in signing up, go for it. Come to the first meeting, see what it's all about, see what it's going to be like. We should have a number of groups in our first couple of months, and those groups are going to consist of hardcore D&D players who have played this game before and they love it and they know it inside and out, backwards and forwards. But if you have an imagination of any kind, you can play Dungeons & Dragons. It's a really fun game. And it's not going to be too serious. There will be groups for the more serious people. There will be groups for the more unexperienced players as well. So if you have any interest whatsoever, come by, sign up, see what it's all about.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
And back to you guys in the studio.
The month of February is National Youth Art Month, and those of you with keen eyes will have noticed some areas of the school have been brightened with some beautiful new artwork. One of the purposes of the Youth Art Month is to increase community understanding and interest in art and art education through involvement in art exhibits and other creative ventures. So we tracked down the culprits.
One of the administrators asked me if I could paint the bathrooms to make them more colorful and more inspirational. I think that they've been planning on it for a long time and there was no one that had enough time to do it. So with it being my senior year, I've invested a lot of time into doing it. So we're planning on doing a couple more in the commons area, not in the bathroom but outside, so out there.
This past Wednesday was National Signing Day, and across the country, the college sports fans waited with bated breath to see what new prospects would join the ranks of their favorite college teams. Here at Wetumpka, we had our own star athlete joining on the action. That's going to do it for this week's episode of WHTV. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kristen Whitlow.
And I'm Mabry Calloway, and from everyone here at WHTV, have a great day.